And I do now want to ask, and we're thinking of your family, obviously, we're thinking of you, them over there. But I do want to ask first what you think of the United States' response. I'm going to read you a statement from President Biden. He said that he told Netanyahu that the U.S. will, quote, stand ready to offer all appropriate means of support. What's your reaction so far to that response?
Sure. So I'll tell you, the United States has an ironclad special relationship with Israel, and it's for specifically times like these, times of crisis, where for Israel to know that it has the backing of the United States, I think sends a strong message to its adversaries as well as to its supporters. The United States on the world stage has been able to rally, the developed nations all across the world who have put forward messages of support. You looked at the joint statement from the United States and France. The UK and I believe it was Canada. And so I'm proud that the United States is unwavering in our unequivocal support for Israel. That support will need to continue as the conflict deepens and as Israel does what it needs to do to completely eradicate Hamas for the next 50, 100 years.
As of right now, the United States is standing firm in its allyship with Israel. But what would you like to see going forward from the U.S.? Biden said he would support Israel in any way. What would you want that to look like?
Sure. So first and foremost, we have to look at what the Israeli Defense Force needs, right? We have to look at what type of military aid they need. We already provide a substantial aid package, but they'll need replenishments for the Iron Dome, as the Iron Dome has been completely overwhelmed with indiscriminate firing of rockets from Gaza fired at civilians. So replenishing those Iron Dome batteries, working to provide logistics assistance, whether it's by air, by land, by sea, making sure that we move swiftly. Because remember, the House doesn't have a speaker. Right. And so making sure we are moving as expeditiously as possible to get our government back to business, to provide an aid package to Israel will be crucial. Of course, we want to make sure we're cooperating with our Israeli partners to bring back all of those who are held hostage. We know there are not just Americans, but people of all different nationalities held hostage. I think confronting Iran is really important here. Ensuring that Iran cannot get a nuclear weapon is of enormous import, and deterring Iran from getting involved in this conflict. Iran is a state sponsor of terrorism. It's been reported that Iran was in coordination with Hamas on the attack, and so making sure we're confronting Iran and all those state sponsors of terrorism. And of course, we have to combat anti-Semitism here in the United States. This is such an important issue to see. Extreme far left fringe groups hosting a celebration of the acts of barbarism from Hamas, to see students from my alma mater, Harvard, putting blame squarely on the Israeli government. It's been so disappointing to see such vile anti-Semitism, and to see anti-Semitism veiled as anti-Zionism. And we need to combat it here on the homeland.